On the road to WrestleMania, and we have a huge United States Championship match as our main event. So we've got an exciting show. Let's get started. Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Stuart and welcome to episode 20 of my modern day WWE save on TEW 2020. Yes, we're right into the road to WrestleMania. Obviously we're into the second week of Monday Night Raw. So big show, as we said in the intro. We've got obviously United States Championship is on the line with Damian Priest defending his title against Seth Rollins. We've obviously got Finn Balor versus The Miz as well. Obviously we've got Alexa Bliss is going through her many counselling sessions for the entire for the show. That's really cool. And obviously we've got the number one contender for the WWE Championship, Big E, in action, going against the Adonis, basically. Yes, don't know why I went weird there. But yeah, so a big show here. Obviously, before we start diving straight into that stuff, if you like what you see, please like and subscribe. Really appreciate it. We really think it's really cool. So yeah, please check out other videos. Obviously, links to that will be at the top somewhere up there. Somewhere, I don't know. But yeah, hopefully you enjoy this stuff. But yeah, so big show. Obviously, we're really into the road to WrestleMania now. So obviously, yeah, we've got to dive straight into it. So let's go into start the show. Obviously, let's go with Edge in the ring, calling out AJ Styles for a possible match at WrestleMania. So let's start. Yeah, so we start this edition of Monday Night Raw with Edge in the ring. Yes, obviously we start off with Edge with talking about the idea that he's obviously had a fight with him last week. So I like the idea of Edge coming out, sitting Edge. Basically said he's had enough of this. Obviously they're both getting involved with each other's business. It started out as respect, but now it's pure they want to show. It's getting to some intense kind of feud that shows who is the better wrestler type situation. So kind of Edge kind of comes out and kind of it implies that yes, this needs to end, and it needs to end at the grandest stage of them all, and that is WrestleMania. So basically it's Edge basically challenging AJ for a match at WrestleMania, and obviously the crowd are up for this because obviously it would be, who wouldn't be, Edge versus AJ Styles. AJ Styles comes out and then basically he says, "You want a match against me? You're on." And then they shake hands, but it's like Edge walks out, and then AJ still keeps the hand, and then basically they have an intense stare, and yeah, kind of sets up the match quite nicely, in my opinion. Anyway, so yeah, for 68 to start the show, very good. I like that a lot. So, but yeah, it's a good start to the show. So obviously that's set up basically it's locked in now. One WrestleMania match is locked in for WrestleMania. So interesting stuff to happen in the next couple of weeks for that one, I promise you that. So next one, obviously after this, one with many counselling sessions with Alexa Bliss. So this one, obviously first counselling session is kind of she's trying to find if she can remember. Can she remember all the bad stuff she did as possessed by the Fiend? That's funny what he gets. So 56. Wow. I mean, I think that's the best. I didn't know last couple of sessions has been like 37, but to get 56, that's very good here. Again, still do the problem with that with the road agent. Still a problem sometimes. I still need to work on that. But yeah, this one I was kind of like the idea of just like the session is they're trying to put her in, make her sit down on the sofa, make her think, and try and see if she can access them repressed memories of her time possessed by the Fiend. And we'll do it in a situation like we'll do it cinematically as well. It's like so when she's doing it, we'll do it like in a film where the images come up of all the stuff she did, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, and we get to a situation like at the end of the session, we do let's do it dramatically. She goes, "Oh my god, I remember." And then that sets up the next segment I'm going to do later on. But yeah, this is not as simple. I like the idea of like Alexa Bliss is in my story has gone through a lot of stuff, and she's just come back from a traumatic experience. And I like the idea that basically she goes to therapy, but not in a comedic way, but in a sort of serious kind of, it makes sense that she would do it, if you know what I mean. But yeah, but 56, wow. I mean, a couple of weeks ago that would have got a 37. So either these segments are working or I've got the right, or it's just the show's working quite well tonight. So yes, obviously after that we get our first match of the evening. It's a simple match here. Also, we've got the Street Profits that obviously are would have ambitions to win the tag team championships off the RK Bro, and obviously they go against the Dirty Dogs and Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode. So who's going to win here? So who's going to get the win? Is it going to be the Dirty Dogs going to maybe show their title credentials, or are Street Profits going to do their thing? Let's find out. So the winner of this match is for 42. No surprise there is that the Street Profits defeat the Dirty Dogs 42 with 14 and Frog Splash on Robert Roode. I'm not against that. But yeah, this one, obviously, I just put a situation of just it's supposed to show that Street Profits are still a winnable tag team, and they are really high contenders for the tag team championships. But yeah, obviously the high score was obviously was it Dolph Ziggler with 44. Lowest is Robert Roode for 29. Now, I still think it's quite harsh, but obviously the Street Profits doing well. Dawkins and Ford, 35 for Ford and 35 as well from Dawkins. So just work well good as a team. But yeah, I like it here. Good opening contest, 42. Nothing crazy. This match probably would be a high intense one, and it would be fun. So, you know, it's that cool stuff as well. So, yeah, cool stuff there. But obviously afterwards, as I put in out title credentials, obviously the Street Profits get on the mic talking about how they know they can beat RK Bro, and they saw how unstable Riddle is at the moment, and they've also seen Alpha Academy get a title shot before them, and they don't like this. So I think they kind of call out their kind of credentials, and yeah, and Alpha Academy don't like this, and yeah, it kind of sets up a #1 contendership match that I want to do next week for the tag titles for 50-45. Very good here. But yeah, so as I said, it's just to set up the idea. I like the idea that Street Profits are gone, like, as you would be, like, right, so Riddle is completely unhinged, and then Alpha Academy can just ask, and they get a title shot. What about us? Why don't we get a title shot? You know, we beat Alpha Academy a couple of weeks ago to even get that opportunity. So why is it they're getting it for us? Yeah, I like the idea that the Alpha Academy can come out saying, well, we have unfinished business with you. And obviously, yeah, you unhappy with it? Okay, well, we'll put it on the line, because, you know, we need to beat you, and that kind of stuff, and sets up a #1 contendership match, as I said. But, yeah, I like the idea that I've got a fun interest way to set up, because obviously I've got a match lined up for WrestleMania between these three teams, and I want to find a way to set that up. But I like it here. A #1 contendership before WrestleMania, 2 weeks before WrestleMania, I think works, because it just gives it a kind of that boost. But yeah, 45, very good here. But yeah, so as it's announced for next week, it's going to be #1 contendership, Street Profits versus the Alpha Academy. But I mean, as I said, Riddle's out of control at the moment, so maybe would he be involved in that next week? We don't know, but we'll find out next week. But obviously, after that, we talk about a person that has also got is out of control, or someone that the Raw Women's Champion thinks is out of control and has an idea to maybe bring her down a peg, and that is Becky Lynch is in the ring talking about how she's kind of going to put out a bounty on Bianca Belair for a 60. Very good there. Yeah, so I like the idea that basically she's like, Becky Lynch is like, I'm fed up of Bianca Belair being in the ring. I'm fed up of her, like, you know, thinking, yes, I beat you 14 seconds, whatever, at SummerSlam. Get over it. Maybe you just weren't good enough, and then you're holding me ransom for that for so long, and then you get in my business, and then you're doing all this stuff. I think, and you're cocky and you're arrogant. You think it's a foregone conclusion that you're gonna beat me at WrestleMania. So you know what? I'm gonna bring you down a peg. So this is an announcement to all the wrestlers out there, the women's wrestlers out there. I'm putting on it's a bit much, but I put £100,000 bounty reward on anyone. They can beat Bianca Belair in the ring or take her out. And yeah, and the offer starts now. So yeah, Becky Lynch puts the bounty out. But put what I said there. She said, who can beat her or take her out. So it could be in a match or could take her out backstage. Whatever works. She doesn't want to destroy her or take her out for the match because she wants to beat her at WrestleMania. But I like the idea that she wants to bring her down a peg because she's fed up of her cockiness and her getting away. I like it. But 60 there, love that stuff. So yeah, good stuff here. So that set up some interesting stuff later on. We'll get into that. But obviously after that we hear from a Finn Balor talking about how, in a way, people are underestimating him. That's always is a very dangerous thing. And and he's kind of fed up of it, and he wants to show why he possibly is the favourite to maybe take the US title when he gets the opportunity soon, and obviously to prove to the people that he is the best wrestler in this company. For a 56, so obviously he says that kind of prove that he's the best. He's fed up of people underestimating him, people like just taking not thinking about him in any opportunities that come up in the top side of the show. But obviously the Miz comes out and comes in and confronts him and says maybe there's a reason for that, because you're just not good enough. You don't have the it factor. Nothing like, of course, the A-lister that is the Miz. And obviously I know, like, you all talk, Finn Balor. I know I can beat you in the ring. And obviously Finn Balor's like, oh, okay. You know what? What about you fight me tonight? You one-on-one, you versus me. And the Miz is like, alright, okay. Supposedly cocky by the Miz, but it's nice to see. He can be a good wrestler at times. So I like the idea that he goes, okay, I like this, so let's go for it. So it sets up a match that's going to be later on in the night. Finn Balor, The Miz. Oh, what a match that could be. We'll find out later on, see if it gets a good match, what happens. But obviously after that we hear from... we don't hear from, we have like secret cameras picking out something that probably sets up something later. Is obviously that we got the WWE Champion, Bobby Lashley, talking to Almas yet again, trying to maybe get a deal to try and sort out what he calls the Big E problem. Obviously next one for 44, no surprise there, it's not going to get a great score, but it's fine. This is kind of a situation. I wanted to just do a situation where like you catch him talking to, and kind of like, camera angle type thing, and it just sets up the idea that Almas is like, okay, he's like the heavy hitter. He's the guy you hire. He's a mercenary. I like the idea. He's much more interesting as a mercenary that I think what to do with him now with MVP. Kind of works in a way, but I like the idea of him being a mercenary. He gets paid to be taking out people. So Bobby Lashley is obviously trying to. He is kind of scared of Big E, or he's kind of scared of what he's doing. His momentum recently, so he's trying to use someone like Almas to try and take him out, or at least weaken him for his match against Big E at WrestleMania. So obviously that match will be next. So obviously it's Big E versus Almas. Who's going to win? Is Almas going to do what he's been paid to do and weaken the Big E, or is Big E's momentum kind of ever since he won the Royal Rumble all them months ago? Is he going to continue, and he's going to keep his rise to the top, back to the top of the WWE? Let's find out. So the winner of this match is... press the button. Of course it's Big E. No surprise there. For a 55, that's surprisingly better than I expected. A 63 from Big E. A 33 from Almost. To put a 55, that's actually really good. A lot of these matches tonight in this show is doing better than expected. A lot of segments haven't really done really bad. I'm actually quite surprised. The idea that Big E wins with a stretch muffler is not a thing that would ever happen. But the way I thought of it is I like the idea of Big E winning it, but like he's hitting the big ending on Almost, but make it look like it's this grand piece of strength that he can hold up someone as huge as Almost to hit the big ending, and he hits it. And he gets the win here. But simple one here. But wow, I'm really impressed by that. A 55 there. Very good. I'm very impressed by that. But then obviously afterwards he gets on the mic, Big E, and he calls out Bobby Lashley. Because he has a plan. He has an idea. He knows what Bobby Lashley's doing. And he has a plan to maybe get one up on the WWE Champion. So he gets on the mic, and we get that for 56. Very good here. But poor intimate. Yeah, I've got to work on that. But basically, what I like here is Big E basically wants him to think he knows what he's doing. If he thinks he can beat him, like kind of situation, he knows that he can beat him in a way, But he knows that if he doesn't beat Big E, he doesn't define him. But with with Bobby Lashley, it's kind of situation. He talks a big game, but he has doubts because obviously, why would he sell? Why would he get almost to take out Big E if he's not? He talks a big game, but I think there's a little bit of self doubt there for Bobby Lashley. That obviously he would never admit. So I like the idea that basically Big E go, okay, you keep putting me in these two matches this week and last week. So what about the next 2 weeks? Go to WrestleMania. I pick two opponents from you to face, and then you can beat them, and you can prove that you are as good as you say you are. And everything, and obviously prove that that if you can beat them, you are the threat that I'm afraid of. And obviously Bobby Lashley's like, he's like, well, he's up for it basically. And obviously you got was MVP and all that kind of stuff, kind of going, wait, what? No, don't do this. He's baiting you. He's baiting you and do something. It's not a good idea. And obviously Bobby Lashley gets on the mic and says, you're on. And basically sets up next week. 2 weeks, we're going to have two matches with Bobby Lashley going against opponents that Big E choose. Could be a singles match, could be a tag team match, could be a triple threat match. Big E's got control. Bobby Lashley accepts. So that's what we've got going on for the next 2 weeks. Big E's baited Bobby Lashley and decided that probably he doesn't need to prove anything, but he just have an ego problem. So it makes sense. But and then obviously after that we're next to the second segment of my Alexa Bliss stuff, and obviously after that we hear from her. We're backstage. Obviously she's remembered what she done. Now she's sitting there atoning in a way, or kind of accepting what she has done under this. For another 56, wow, these segments are doing really well tonight. Very impressed by them actually. But this one is quite simple. It's basically like we obviously saw snippets of it, and then we have of what she did. She remembers what she did. Now we're going back to a situation where she atones, where she goes, like she talks about how it felt, what it was like being possessed, and how it made her feel weak and it made her feel powerless, and she couldn't do anything about it because the force was so strong. That kind of situation. This will be a bit shorter, but I like the idea that she's like, first segment she remembers what she did, second one she regrets what she does, and then maybe in the third one, obviously we'll go into that when I get to it. There's another segment there, so that's what I want to set up. I like kind of stuff like this where it's segments throughout the show. I've got to do more of this kind of stuff because I do like it. But obviously after that we cut to backstage, and then we see that Bianca Belair is being taken out by Zelina Vega, obviously for a 53. Obviously, as we was earlier in the show, Bianca Belair's put the bounty on. Bianca Belair, she's got a target on her back. And obviously, long associate from Becky Lynch. No surprise that sounds like Zelina Vega goes after Bianca Belair, tries to take her out, but it doesn't work. And it kind of gets separated at the back, and it kind of sets up the next week. We're going to set up a match that's going to happen right now. It's going to happen. It sets up Bianca Belair going against Zelina Vega. So, sets up the match quite nicely. But, yes, obviously this is kind of point out that basically people try... Bianca Belair walking around the backstage. A lot of people might take up on that offer and might want to take her out. But let's see if maybe Zelina Vega can take her out backstage. Maybe she can beat her and take that £100,000 reward. Let's find out. So next, obviously that match. Is Bianca Belair going to keep surviving for another day, or is Zelina Vega going to get her reward? Let's find out. And the winner of this match is... for 50. Wow. That's very impressive, actually. But it ends with a disqualification. But obviously, Bianca Belair does defeat Zelina Vega. But it ends with a DQ. Obviously, I didn't put who didn't, but Carmella comes out, and that's what it sets up. She comes out and attacks Bianca Belair from behind. The ref sees it, calls off the match. Obviously, Bianca Belair gets the win for 44 there. But Bianca Belair 33, and it got a 50, so it's got a better score than I expected. Wow, that's impressive. A lot of these matches done really well tonight on this show. I'm very impressed by them. Let's hope they do more. We continue this good run. But obviously we go. Obviously after the segment, we obviously got. There you go. This is more like it. So 34. This is more okay. So the first one of the show. Well, it was fine. But so she got Carmella attacks Bianca Belair from behind. Obviously hits her finisher. I think I can't remember what her finisher was, but yes, hits finisher. She stands tall, and it looks like it sets up a match between them two next week. So that'd be interesting. So obviously the bounty, Bianca Belair, survives tonight in a way, but how long is that going to last up to WrestleMania? Who's going to claim that £100,000 reward for taking out Bianca Belair or beating her? So let's find out. We'll find out next week if it might be Carmella. But anyway, after that, we obviously took from another person that's kind of frustrated and wants to prove himself in a way. Obviously, we hear from Seth Rollins talking about how he's going to beat Damian Priest, and he's going to take that US gold because he wants to get his message across. If he wants to show people that he needs to follow their message, he needs gold so people listen to him, especially in the United States. So he needs United States gold. For a 66, very good there. Yeah, simple one here, just like he's going to finally win some gold. It's been a long time since he's won it, and he knows that if he had that US title gold, it would make the company better, this whole show better, and obviously means that more people will listen to him. So that means he can put out his message of improvement of this whole show type situation. So 66, very good here. And obviously after that we hear from another person that possibly is a US title contention, and that is The Miz before his match with Finn Balor. That will be after this segment. But obviously he's kind of like, he wants to send a message that the reason he was so eager to take the match tonight is that he wants to prove people that, like, similar to like people have said past, this guy can wrestle and he is one of the best wrestlers in this company. He wants to prove it tonight. He's fed up of people doubting him, and he's fed up of people talking behind his back saying he's nothing but just pretty face and a person that's good for the marketing, but when it comes in the ring, he's not that good. The Miz wants to prove it tonight, and he wants to prove it against someone that he does respect in a way, but he wants to show that Finn Balor is not the best wrestler in this company. The Miz is. For a 55, not as great, but that's fine. I'm happy with that. But yeah, so basically The Miz wants to prove that he is the best wrestler, and he's more than just reality shows. And good on the mic. He's a great wrestler, and he wants to prove it tonight against Finn Balor. And obviously we'll find out, can he prove it? Is he going to be able to do it? That is next. Obviously we've got Finn Balor versus The Miz. Who's going to get the win? Is it going to be Finn Balor, or is it going to be The Miz? Let's find out. So the winner's match is, for 47, actually better than I expected, is obviously Finn Balor with a coup de grace for the win. Obviously Finn Balor gets 43, a 37 there from The Miz. Very happy with that. I actually think that's pretty cool. I like that. But yeah, I mean, obviously it's done better than both performers, but obviously I have a high expectation. I would like that to be a better score, but that's my expectations. But yeah, does better than it's a decent reaction, they said. But yeah, good stuff here. May have got lower because obviously The Miz and Finn Balor don't seem to click when it makes an awkward bout. I can understand that. Might be the last time I do this match, but you got to try these things out sometimes. But yeah, Finn Balor gets the win. Obviously, he's got a bit of momentum going there, possibly in the US title scene. So maybe he might be the next opponent, maybe against whoever wins in the main event. Obviously, we've got these little, just a little reminder, obviously little matches that Damian Priest wants to defend his title every week. We're leading up to WrestleMania. Obviously, we're not set up what that big match is going to be at WrestleMania, but we will find out soon enough. But obviously, we go straight to backstage. We talk to Randy Orton, that obviously wants to talk about what's happening with his partner Riddle, and kind of idea that he can't be thinking about it right now. He's got a match against Otis later on tonight for a 56. But yeah, this is kind of a situation of he's kind of talking about Randy Orton's talking about Riddle. Obviously, and he's asked what is happening with Riddle. He doesn't know. He's worried that he's turning into what he was all those years ago, a selfless, cold, calculated person that just thinks about himself and kind of starts attacking people and kind of does vicious things. He appreciated the stuff with Riddle, imitating his moves, but now it's like a situation of like he's imitating his character, and he worries him because he doesn't want Riddle to become him. He wants Riddle to be better than him. But he said he can't think about that right now because obviously he's got the tag team title match. They've got to face them. Obviously Randy accepts competition, but I like the idea that Randy's like, we don't need these kind of distractions right now, and just sort ourselves out before we even have an attempt to try and defend our titles. But obviously no choice now. Obviously, Riddle wants to do. There's not much he can do about it. But obviously, he's got to face almost one half of the possible challenges for his tag titles. So obviously, that match is next. Who's going to win? It's going to be Randy. Going to get an expected win, or is almost going to get a surprise win. Get probably maybe his biggest win of his career against a former world heavyweight champion and WWE champion. Let's find out. So the winner of this match is, for 58, obviously Randy Orton, with a nice RKO out of nowhere. For a 58, 64 by Randy, obviously high score. 35, you could say carried it a little bit, but a very good match here. But yeah, I like the idea of, that Randy gets the win. He gets back in momentum, but yeah, he obviously sees Riddle kind of like, he just got the win, but he's still thinking about what Riddle's doing. And he should be concerned, because after the match, Riddle gets on the mic straight after Randy's win for 49 here, and kind of confronts the Alpha Academy and talks about the Street Profits. And he kind of, I like the idea of basically Riddle going, I don't care who wins, because next week, whoever wins, I'll face both of your teams. Even Randy's like, but mate, you're not in the right place to play like 2 teams, not even 1. I like the idea of Randy's like, I don't care, I'll face them all by myself. I don't need you, Randy. That kind of thing. Puts the mic and walks out. But I like the idea that basically Riddle's become a bit unstable. Maybe he's hearing voices in his head, maybe not, we don't know. But yeah, so that could be a thing. So obviously, as we tease, would he be involved? Maybe the 2 Alpha Academy and Street Profits should be concerned here. But if he gets involved, because if he's unhinged, they should be very, very wide. So obviously, so that sets up kind of maybe a nice little tease for that number 1 contendership tag team match next week. But obviously now we next go to the final of the 3 segments we've done for the entire night. Obviously I'm talking about the Alexa Bliss stuff, but this one is not really a segment where she's in therapy. Next, obviously afterwards she gets, obviously we go to Nikki Cross, just backstage, just chilling as you would, the superhero, trying to figure out what, trying to fight crime. She's a superhero in training. She's learning on the job. But then I like the idea that Alexa Bliss comes out like reinvigorated, and the idea that basically says she wants to join forces with Nikki. She wants to, right her wrong. She wants to do good and help people type thing, and kind of be like, she wants to be a superhero too. I'm not going to go too crazy with her dressing up superhero, but I like the idea that she's going to now kind of fight where right wrongs, and kind of go after and help people, that get bad things happen to them. She's going to help them. She's going to save them to redeem her past transgressions, past things she did as the Fiend. And yeah, I like that. So obviously that'll be next for 42. Wow, that's done way better than I thought. I thought that'd be at 37. But yeah, I mean, I'm liking this. Maybe putting him on the show recently, he's looking good. Because off in the script, that's fine. But yeah, so obviously it's just setting up that basically Alexa Bliss is going to maybe be trying to be like a guardian angel of the whole of Raw, and trying to help people and trying to do good, to try and change what she was type situation. But one person that probably needs redeeming is obviously KO. Obviously with his dastardly horrible attack on Dominic Mysterio last week, doing the pop-up powerbomb onto the apron, and obviously he's got a lot of choice words to say, telling him why did he do that. And obviously a perceptual father of Dominic Mysterio is not happy with his actions. For 51, very good here. But I like the idea that basically they ask KO why did he do it, and he's like, he's fed up with everyone ducking him. He's fed up of these upstarts, all these people getting in his way, to show how this true greatness that is KO. And obviously he wants to rekindle his roots. He wants to go back to what he was in NXT, early years of KO, because no one could stop KO at that point. He was winning titles, he was winning big matches, he was doing great things. Hasn't had as much success as he was like the last couple of weeks, but now he wants to change that. It's all gonna 2022 is this year, and it's all gonna start with him finally getting his WrestleMania moment, and he's gonna do it at some point. But then Ray comes out, obviously. So what gives you the right to do that to my son? You know what? If you want to pick on someone that's more experienced, pick someone else. Fight me tonight. Fight me in a match. Obviously, KO's like shrugs it off. Okay, old man. I'll go for it. if you want to, if you want to set up your own death warrant, let's go for it. And yeah, kind of sets up the match next is obviously we're going to have Rey Mysterio versus KO, Kevin Owens in a singles match. Will Rey Mysterio get a little bit of revenge for his son, or is he going to maybe suffer the same fate as his son did last week? So let's find out. So the winner of this match is for a 48. Yeah, it's definitely, that's pretty good. I mean, obviously you got the 47 from KO. You've got the 38 by Rey Mysterio. A 48, so it's one better than the actual scores. Nothing else reported. I don't know why. I've never seen that in the game before. Very strange. But yes, obviously gets the win with I like the idea that maybe hits a pop-up powerbomb. Like the idea I've had is basically he does Ray does a springboard on the top, jumps off, tries to hit the drop in the dime, but KO kind of catches you in midair and hits the powerbomb or pop-up powerbomb. Then he picks him up, hits a stunner, gets the win. 1, 2, 3. But as you can probably guess, this is the old KO. So he still wants to send a message. So you're going to assume what he's going to do here. So obviously KO takes him to the back, outside, and he hits the powerbomb onto the apron like he did to his son just last week for 48. And yeah, KO is on fire at the moment. So he's taken out both Mysterios with that pop-up powerbomb on the apron. So KO, the old KO's back, and that's the best KO. The KO, Kevin Owens, the best version. But yes, obviously the KO walks away, and obviously Rey Mysterio is taken out by usual stuff like medical staff and all that. But yeah, there's got to be consequences to that, right? We'll find out soon enough. But yes, obviously next we have go backstage, obviously Liz Morgan and Rhea Ripley talking about, because obviously they're both high contenders for that Women's Battle Royal at WrestleMania, with an opportunity for a Raw Women's Championship match on the line, or possible opportunity on the line, as well as winning the tournament. So obviously they have choice words to say about each other. That is about what the situation next week. It's kind of like a friendly, heated rivalry. That kind of like, because you kind of need that in the women's division. For a 38, yeah, that's fine. I mean, for the level we are, that's fine. We got more of them last week, so that's probably why we got a lower score. But I'm happy with it here, because obviously this is lower, especially with Liv Morgan, lower Liv mid card. So I'm trying to build them up. But yeah, the idea here, I like the idea of basically like the backstage saying, "No, I'm gonna win. No, I'm gonna win." And it's like it starts so friendly and it gets intense. And I like the idea basically everybody's, "Oh, so you think you're gonna win, eh? I know you've got a match next against Doudrop. I'm gonna, if you want to prove how good you are, I'm gonna sit out there tonight and I'm gonna watch, I'm gonna watch the match, and so you want to show me how good you are? Prove it, and I'll sit there and watch." And as Rhea Ripley thinks, she doesn't think she's that good, but she's gonna sit there and watch back. She's gonna sit with the announce table, join the commentary team, and watch the match to see if Liv Morgan. So Liz Morgan versus Doudrop. I expect this to be probably run about this level. I hope, because I'm not worried it's going to get a decent score. Let's hope. Let's find out. So who wins? Is it going to be Liz Morgan or is it going to be Doudrop? Let's find out. 26. That's fine. I mean, 31 there, but from both Liz Morgan and Doudrop. 26. I was thinking the worst there, but it's still in the kind of yellow, so that's good. Obviously, yes, Liz Morgan wins with the Liz kick. But I like here that basically Rhea Ripley's watching. She beats Doudrop, but she's not impressed by Rhea Ripley. It's like, yeah, they're both faces, but she's not impressed. So maybe there's a little heated rivalry going in. Who's going to prove another one to prove who's the best? And we're going to find out. They're both obviously guaranteed they are in the Women's Battle Royal at WrestleMania. So obviously they'll be hot favourites to win it. So, but yeah, we'll find out obviously in a couple of weeks. But obviously after that, we hear from we're in the main event now, so obviously we hear from the United States champion. Kind of, again, people keep asking, why is he doing this? He could easily not. Why does he keep wanting to defend his title every week? Like, would that eventually come back to bite him in the ass? But obviously for 43, he kind of just says, as he's being alluding to all time, like, he gets it. He knows that when people look at him, the way he acts, the way he is, he understands that people don't respect him, think he's just a transitional champion, and he doesn't deserve to have that title belt. And normally he would shrug it off, but he always likes to show, instead of telling people how good he is, wants to show people how good he is. So, and obviously this United States, and he respects his title a lot, and he wants to prove it, that this is one of the best titles out there, and he wants to prove that only the best carry it. So the only way to do that is in title matches. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. And he wants to prove that he can beat the best, because obviously he's been facing the best at the moment. He's been beating the best. But obviously that sets up the main event. Yes, the main event. Seth Rollins versus Damian Priest for the United States Championship on the line. Are we going to have a new champion with Seth Rollins, or is Damian Priest going to say what he says and prove how good of a champion he is? Let's find out. And the winner, and still your United States champion, Damian Priest, with the Reckoning for a 49. That's actually quite disappointing, but I'm not surprised. Maybe I should have got a better road agent than Bruce Pritchard. But yeah, this one I like the idea of basically like maybe like Seth goes for the stomp. He misses, Damian Priest counters and then kind of finds a creative way to hit the Reckoning to get the win. But yeah, this one's like, yeah, at this point, it's probably worries me for the final score, because obviously the main event stuff still matters. But I'm worried because obviously, obviously we got a low score last week, and obviously the network was not happy with that. So hopefully it doesn't affect the scores too much. But it's not the end of the show though. We've got one more segment. Obviously after the match, obviously Damian Priest holding this out high, and then Sonya Deville comes out. Yes, Sonya Deville comes out and kind of announces a big match for WrestleMania after this, back off this win for a 52. That's actually a really good way to finish the show. But yeah, so this, I like the idea. Obviously we've been setting up, because obviously if you watched enough, that I want a ladder match at WrestleMania, because WrestleMania doesn't feel right without some sort of big multi-man ladder match. Ever since they took the Money in the Bank ladder match away and made it into pay-per-view, it doesn't feel quite the same. So what I'm going to do is, we're going to do what they did with the Intercontinental title. Like all those years ago when you have a big ladder match, and it's going to be for the United States Championship. Obviously it's kind of teased that he wants to face all comers, but Sonya Deville's come up. Obviously we know her storyline is trying to do big announcements to keep her job. So I like the idea that basically Sonya Deville is basically saying, okay, I hear what you say. And obviously you teased it, but let's make it official. What about at WrestleMania? You defend your United States Championship against Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens. If Dominic Mysterio is fit, Dominic Mysterio, The Miz, Finn Balor, face them all to prove that you are the best. But it's in a ladder match. In the greatest traditions of WrestleMania, we're going to have a 6-person ladder match for that United States Championship. And if you win, and I'm only saying if you win, Damian Priest, you will prove that once and for all you are one of the best United States champion of all time. If you could beat all these most of these are former world champions in a way. If you can beat all of them, then you will prove it. It was Damian Priest accepts. And obviously, but I just want a rubber stamp to make it official that yes. So we've got 2 matches set for WrestleMania now. We have AJ Styles versus Edge, and we have a 6-man ladder match for United States Championship. So two good matches announced. Sets up quite nicely for WrestleMania. I'm trying to book. That luckily is a 1 night, not 2. So it's going to be a bit of a. It's going to be a lot of matches, so I've got to squeeze in for 3 hours or 4 hours. But we'll get to that when we get to WrestleMania. But that's the end of the show. Let's find out. Again, I'm worried about that main event. Might have not done well. We need to get. I think they've done well. If it gets like a 55 or 54, I'll be a very happy person. So let's find out. So this edition of Monday Night Raw gets 58. Yes, that is way better from last week. Yes, obviously the main event, kind of disappointed with the 49, but I think a lot of the stuff done well. The only stuff that obviously got scores that are concerning were obviously Liz Morgan, Rhea Ripley, and the Liz Morgan Doudrop stuff. But like I was worried about the Alexa Bliss stuff that was doing really well. So that's very impressive. But over 58, we're back on form. Obviously after a bit of a dip last week, we're back with a good score. I'm happy with that. Obviously, as we said, we'll set up 2 big matches of WrestleMania in this edition of Raw. And yeah, good stuff here. So 58, better than last week. Way better than last week. I think it's 10 points more better. So that's good stuff here. So obviously, we'll find out what happens next week. or the next edition of Monday Night Raw. Should be good, so let's find out. But yeah, 58, very better than last week. I'm very happy with that, very happy indeed. Yeah, so 58, way better than our last Raw we did 2 weeks ago. Very bad. I mean, that was one of the worst, I think, scores you ever got. Very disappointed with that one, but not with this one. Very happy. Obviously, a bit worried there because the main event got like 48, 49. I was hoping that I'd get a better score. But a lot of matches, like a lot of segments really performed well in this show. Obviously, the Exhibit stuff, I was worried there's not going to be, like, they're going to be in the 30 or 40s, but very solid numbers for them that I was actually really happy with. Obviously, we did get some of those 37s, 38s with, the Rhea Ripley and Liz Morgan segments that I can understand. It's obviously that lower card, but that's fine. But yeah, I mean, obviously, The Miz and Finn Balor done alright. Big E versus almost surprisingly done better than expected, and all the matches really was solid in this edition, so I was very happy with that. So yeah, so that's a 58, so that's a good score. So hopefully we can next week with SmackDown can get a better score, because obviously I think they got okay, but I know I can do better, made some mistakes in that edition, so obviously we can hopefully improve and keep this momentum going. So yeah, so we're getting very close to WrestleMania. We're a couple of episodes before we get to my version of WrestleMania. So that'd be good. So if you want to make sure you don't miss next edition and you don't miss any more episodes from me leading up to that, please like and subscribe. Obviously, if you want to make sure you don't miss anything, there'll be a link somewhere up there with the link to a playlist of all the episodes I've done so far, so you can make sure you can catch up and make sure you're clear what's going on with the stories I'm going for. And yeah, so awesome stuff there. So yeah, I don't have more to say. I hope you've enjoyed my edition of my edition of my TEW save on my modern day WW save and TEW 2020. And yeah, no more to say is enjoy the rest of your week. I'll be back next week with my SmackDown. Should be good. Got a big show. Obviously, we've got an Intercontinental Championship Tournament number contendership semi-final matches happening in that one. So that's got one you don't want to miss. So another reason to like and subscribe. So yeah, so until then, hope you enjoy the rest of your week. And I'll be back next week with more fantasy booking on TEW 2020. Until then, have an awesome week. Bye everyone. Bye-bye.